Welcome to my channel, The Flix Judge, where you will get detailed reviews and honest ratings of global movies and OTT series so that you can watch only the best content worthy of your time. Today we will review the movie Kalki 2898 AD. Prabhas, Amitabh Bachchan, Deepika Padukone have acted in key roles in this film. Music is by Santosh Narayanan and direction is by Nag Ashwin. Telugu original, this movie has been released in Hindi, Tamil, etc. languages, dubbed version, as well as in 2D and 3D formats. As far as the story goes, the name Kalki in the title refers to Kalki avatar of Mahavishnu, which is supposed to bring the end of Kali Yuga. The time is 2898 AD, that is 800 years into the future. 6000 years have passed since Mahabharat. The world is mostly desertified, with the last surviving city being Kashi. However, even Ganga has dried up now. There is a town called Complex, which is shown to be hanging in midair through some futuristic technology. However, only some people have access to this place, which has all kinds of facilities. This place is headed by Supreme Yaskin, a role played by Kamal Haasan. All other people live on the ground around this hanging town. They all lead miserable lives. One among them is our hero Bhairava, played by Prabhas. He is a bounty hunter and he is shown to be totally selfish, whose only aim in life is to go and live a life of luxury in complex somehow. In this complex, the leader Supreme Yaskin is looking for fertile young women who can birth children. Apparently, most people have become infertile and it is difficult to find women who can carry children till childbirth. He wants to do some kind of research on the babies, but we are not clearly told what. One of the test subjects is Sumati, a role played by Deepika Padukone. She is pregnant but hides the fact from the scientists at Complex. When they discover that she is with child, she escapes from there with the help of a quote unquote resistance force. This resistance is from another town called Shambhala, which is waiting for the arrival of the woman who will give birth to God's avatar. They are constantly fighting the forces from Complex, who is also looking for this woman. While she escapes, many people from Complex chase Sumati, including our bounty hunter hero Bhairava. During the ensuing fight, Sumati is ultimately saved by an old man who is 8 foot tall with incredible strength, who beats everyone, including Bhairava, to a pulp. He says he is Aswathama, the son of Dronacharya from Mahabharata. Due to his curse, it is his destiny to wait for the birth of Kalki and save the child from any dangers. He says Sumati is the chosen one who will give birth to Kalki. So, what happens now between the fight between Shambhala and Complex and Bhairava and Ashwatthama and is Sumati ultimately saved forms the rest of the story. This movie has been made with a huge budget of around 600 crores apparently. Let's see whether this was worth all this money and hype or not. The main reason for such a big budget is obviously the sets, costumes, CGI, VFX, etc. A lot of money and effort has gone into designing the sets of Complex or Shambhala or the desertified Kashi, etc. Also, the stunt scenes, the various futuristic vehicles and weapons and other gizmos must have eaten up bulk of the budget. Here, I would say the impact of all this is a mixed bag. Even though some scenes are very artificial, technically most of it looks very realistic and almost up to Hollywood standards. However, the issue is in the imagination. The stunt scenes are not very novel, thrilling, or engaging, even though technically they have been executed very well. I personally liked only one stunt sequence wherein everyone is chasing Deepika Padukone and Amitabh comes and beats everyone up. Even the climax sequence was not this impactful. The next main thing is the story and screenplay. Here again, this is a mixed bag. The core storyline referring to Mahabharata and Kalki, etc., are quite good and engaging. Not just for me, but based on the reaction in the theater, the audience also seemed to think so. Unfortunately, this is just only 40 to 45 minutes of this almost 3 hour long movie. There are so many story tracks which are lengthy or unnecessary and downright artificial and boring. The first is the track of Shambhala. The rationale for this whole Shambhala and quote unquote resistance totally does not work. If you remove this whole track, nothing will change in the main story. A whole 30 odd minutes with some 8 to 10 characters are just some unnecessary adjunct which only serves to distract and lengthen the movie's runtime and increase its budget. Totally does not work according to me. In fact, even the lengthy climax could have become more crisp and engaging if just the fight for Sumati is shown instead of the unnecessary war sequence between Shambhala and Complex's forces. Same goes for the track of Disha Patani's role as Roxy, with some attempt at comedy and a song sequence. The whole thing is an utter waste and totally boring. The worst, however, is the introduction scene of Prabhas. Just goes on and does not work at all. It is supposed to be some kind of a slick comedy fight sequence. However, nothing works in this scene, and this miserable scene goes on interminably. This is the worst mistake the director has done in this movie. Blame should also be shared by the editor. They should have mercilessly cut these scenes. It would have made the movie so much more interesting and watchable, brought the runtime to less than 2 hours, reduced the budget also. But maybe they thought, oh, I have spent so many crores in filming this, so let it remain. This is the biggest negative, according to me, which has made the movie almost unwatchable in many places. Another issue I had with this is that the movie visuals reminds us of so many Hollywood movies like Star Wars, Avatar, Mad Max, Black Panther, Wakanda, and even Game of Thrones. Hardly any set or fight sequence or visual effects are original. So, even though the technical execution is pretty good mostly, the impact is very less, especially for someone who has seen many Hollywood sci fi movies for a few years. This is quite disappointing. The lack of imagination and originality is so obvious. However, if you are not someone who has seen many Hollywood movies, maybe you can find this interesting and you may even like it. As far as acting goes, Prabhas has the major role. However, his acting was pretty average. Deepika Padukone has a good role and she has done a creditable performance as Sumati. Amitabh Bachchan as Ashwatthama again has a powerful role and he has done it quite well. But here again, my major issue is with his getup, which makes him look like Gandalf from the Lord of the Rings, complete with a flowing beard and a lengthy staff. He is supposed to be 6,000 years old and he sure does look like that. The only thing I liked about his role is that some say people of Mahabharat times were 7 to 8 feet tall, and he has been given such a figure in this movie. But even older looking person than this is Kamal Haasan as Supreme Yaskin. He comes for a total of around 2 scenes, maybe around 3 to 4 minutes total. That's it. His fans would be totally disappointed. Many other big actors and directors have done small guest appearances, which might work with Telugu audiences. So, what is the verdict? Kalki is a mixed bag in my view. It's a movie that works only in parts. If you have not watched many Hollywood sci fi movies, there is a chance you may like it. You can watch with your family. However, to enjoy it, you should watch it in theaters. I watched a 2D version, so I can't comment on the 3D version. For a hardcore action or a sci fi fan, this would be an average to disappointing watch. I will give this movie a 5 out of 10 stars. See you again with another review. Until then, bye and happy viewing. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I go through hours and hours of content so that you can watch only the very best ones in your precious free time. Thank you.